Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Have you ever wondered what is the best diet for you to lose weight? Well, if you have, stick around because in this video I'm going to go ahead and share with you what are the most important things to consider when starting a new diet/lifestyle. Also, I will be summarizing some of the most popular diets out there right now. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, then leave me a thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot of videos coming your way, lots of workouts, tips, beauty stuff, all kinds of stuff that I'm very excited about, so I hope that you will stick around and that we will see each other again. Before I get started, I just wanted to mention that what works for me may not work best for you because we are all different, and in fact what works for me right now has not worked for me in the past before. So let me elaborate on this. Right now I'm doing my carb cycling, and this is not the first time I've done carb cycling. In fact, I did it a little while back, but my macros were just not quite right and I felt really deprived, and I felt that I couldn't do this plan for so long, so it was something that was not sustainable, which brings me to the number one thing to consider when starting a new diet plan, and that is sustainability. You want to make sure that the plan that you choose is going to be a lifestyle, so it's something that you can sustain for a long period of time, something that you know that you can achieve with your regular daily life. For example, for me, one of the most important things is that I can maintain my plan, my nutrition plan, in social environments because my family is very social and we like to get together and eat. That's what we do when we get together, so I want to make sure that I have a plan that falls into that smoothly, and if I need to switch certain days up, I can do that. If you're interested in what I eat for my carb cycling, I have a video on that. I will put it in the cards up here so that you can check it out. Number two, keeping it simple. So you've picked your plan, you've decided what you want to do for your new nutrition habits or lifestyle. Now the best thing to do is to keep it simple. So what I mean by this is, let's say that you're going to do carb cycling. So for the days that you have high carbs, and I'll elaborate a little bit more on what carb cycling is, then I have 2 dinners for my high carb days, and then I have 2 dinners for my low carb days. I'm going to keep it very simple, and I'm just going to choose from those 2 until my body gets used to eating in that way. Once I feel comfortable and I'm ready to start experimenting and trying new things, then I will go ahead and introduce more exciting meals into my plan. Try to, tweak little things here and there and really start to experiment because this is a lifestyle and it's something that I want to maintain for a long time. Number 3 thing to consider is patience. If your goal is to lose weight, then losing weight takes time. So being patient is super important, especially if you are working on adapting to a new method of eating. It's very important to stay patient and to trust the process and know that the reward will come with the time and the commitment that you've put in. The first diet that I want to talk about is IIFM. So this acronym stands for If It Fits Your Macros. And pretty much the idea here is that you can eat anything as long as it fits your macros. Macros are macronutrients, specifically carbohydrates, fats, and protein. You allow yourself a certain amount of each of those in grams, and then you stay within those parameters. Even though you can eat pretty much whatever you want within the macros, it's very important to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So you want to make sure to eat foods that are good for you, that are whole foods, and that are nutritious, because you want to make sure to sustain this lifestyle for as long as you can. There are a lot of macro calculators that you can find online, and pretty much the calculations are based on age, gender, activity level, and they are super easy to follow. Now, not everybody is the same, so you want to make sure that you try the macros that you've calculated, but if you feel like you maybe need a little bit more energy, then you can tweak the carbohydrates. If you feel like you're losing muscle and you're working out so much and you need a little bit of protein, then you can do that. You can play around with it. Once you've got your macros, those numbers are not set in stone, so you got to make sure that you see what works best for you, because that is where I made the mistake in the beginning when I started my carb cycling. It was based on macros, and my macros were just not right, and I had to kind of tweak things to see where I was, and now I feel a lot better with where my macros currently are. The second type of diet is carb cycling. Essentially, carb cycling is where you have a different amount of carbs on different days. So you have high carb days and low carb days. within the week. And the way that they're separated is based on personal preference. So you can have consecutive high carb days followed by consecutive low carb days. You can have alternating high and low days. You can have a descending cycle. So you start at a high carb and then you slowly go down and then go to the top again and then slowly go down, or vice versa. It really is up to you. It also can be regulated around your exercise habits. The idea with carb cycling is that you continue to build muscle while being able to lose fat. High carb days are intended for heavier weightlifting and low carb days are intended for high intensity cardio type workouts. So the idea behind this is that if you're doing cardio workouts when you don't have a carb load, then your body will use the fat that is stored in as energy instead of using the carbs that you took in with your meal. That way you lose fat that's on your body. Diet number 3 is the ketogenic diet. So contrary to popular belief, the keto diet is not a high protein diet. In fact, it is a moderate protein diet, very high fat diet, and very low carb diet. So essentially what you're doing is you're depleting your glycogen stores. You are now using fats as your source of energy instead of carbs, which is what our bodies tend to prefer if you're not in a keto state. One thing to consider with this type of diet is that because the majority of your food is fats actually have a higher calorie content per gram, so it's 9 calories per gram. You're going to have a smaller volume of food. So you will feel very satiated and very full because fats are very filling, but if you're the type of person that needs to visually see high volumes of food, then it may be one of the diets that you prefer not to do. This type of diet is very good for people with diabetes and other issues. A lot of dietitians like to cycle people in and out of this type of plan just to make sure that their kidneys and livers stay healthy. And it's also a very effective way to target fat loss. Diet number 4 is the Paleo diet, aka Caveman diet. So essentially this is the diet where you eliminate all processed foods. And during the time when we were cavemen, we were hunter-gatherers. So the idea with this diet is that you eat anything that can be hunted, things like fish and beef, and then you also eat anything that can be gathered, things like eggs, fruit, seeds, vegetables. In this diet, you also eliminate things like grains, rice, pasta, and dairy. Diet number 5. This one is not really a diet per se, it's more of a method of eating. And this one is intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is where you fast for a certain amount of time and then you eat for a certain amount of time. So you have a window of eating. Usually the fasting time is anywhere between 15 to 18 hours and the eating time is anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. Now, it may seem like a long time to fast, a 16-hour window, but a lot of those hours are spent sleeping. And the idea here is that your body has plenty of time to use all of the energy that you've consumed during your feed window. One of the great things about IF is that you can eat meals that are higher in volume, which make you feel satiated for a little bit longer. And if you're somebody that needs the visual high volume food meal, then this type of plan may work well for you. Have it fit your macros within that window so then you feel like you've eaten enough and you will not lose muscle if you make sure to have all of the macros that are necessary for your physical activity and your goals. And that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you would like me to elaborate on any of the diets, or if you would like me to do a video specifically towards one diet, I will be more than happy to do that. It's very important to know what type of lifestyle you want to get into and have the questions that you want answered. I wish I would have had somewhere where I can look up and really have somebody help me through the process, so I will be more than happy to do that. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I have a lot of videos coming and a lot of ideas written down of things that I want to film. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.